Spacey Sims, and we're back with more London Detective Mysteria. I'm like, what am I playing? You know, I know this because I load the game and I bring up the guide and all that shit, and yet, still, when I go to do the intro, I'm like, I don't know what the hell we're doing. Anyway, we are starting Jack's route today. Woo! So, that's why we're here in the middle of nowhere, because we have the common save. So we can just go straight into it and we don't have to be bothered with skipping through 5 bazillion things. So, anyway. Okay. All right, so here we are. Whose message shall I decipher first? Let's see. Let's go with Jack's. Oh God, this is gonna be hard as shit because it's gonna be really hard to do his accent the whole time. So, Christ, I apologize now. It's gonna be a train wreck, but it's where we are. And it's what we've done to ourselves. So anyway, I wonder what yours says, Jack. Let's begin. Okay. Rot 13, or it's supposed to be ROT 13? I don't know. I'm trying to read ahead anyway. It's going to be hard for me to get into his accent, so just bear with me because the first line doing it his pretty much that we're reading him is just not going to work. So anyway, how do we do his accent? Like, do you know what that is? I can do that, but I can't. I need looks. I need that to be. I need the first sentence to be like, written like with the accent in it, as opposed to looks like a Caesar cipher. You know what I mean? Because that's not right anyway. Looks like a Caesar cipher or ROT 13. Do you know what that is? That's not the best. We'll get there. Don't worry. No, we won't. But still, anyway, I wish I did, but no. What is it? It's where each letter shifted a certain number of places. 4 or after in the alphabet. Places. See? This is why I need it written like this, so that I read the accent into it. That's so much more helpful. It also fucks you up because you're like, places? Oh, right, yeah. Okay. ROT 13 as the letter switched by the 13th one for it. Switched by the 13th one for it. Has a letter switched by the 13th one for it. Well, it's the 13, so yeah, okay. Seeing as you got 26 to choose from, this here is what it looked like. It ain't that hard, but if you didn't know it, it'd take a fair bit of time. Ah. That would make the first word... What's the first word? When? That's what guides are for. I'd be like, wait. Yeah, no, okay. Okay, I get what it's saying. I was like, wait a minute. The 13th one's... Yeah, so A would be N, because you just count 13 from A. Okay. When, then? Spot on. Oh, he looks so pleased with us, like he's gonna murder us or not. I don't know what's better in the case of Jack. We persisted through the ciphers, questioning, decoding, pursing our lips in irritation, when without a clue, and cheering when one was solved beyond doubt. Each success was enough to restore our motivation for the next. Phew, we've done it! Everything's been decoded. We'll have to let the others know it's done. We retired for the classroom. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna skip through all this until we get to the next choice. I thought the choice was like right after. We are supposed to let the timer run out. This is so horrible. We're letting the timer run out like, fuck you, Akechi. We're not fucking doing your puzzle. And I feel guilty as shit. Oh, well. It's okay. Akechi's been... Oh, give up. And this is the one we skip through. We don't skip to the next choice because it crashes the game. Don't know why. Anyway. La la la, so we know what's happening. Alright, so this is... What is this? How could it... Oh, folded piece of paper. Okay, so that's the same. It's an ROT 13 Caesar cipher. And this must be from Jack. Oh, sorry. I'll need to substitute each letter with the one 13 letters after it in the alphabet, which means... You've got a mouth as loud as a dog barks. I best keep that in check, because I won't lift a finger if it lands you in hot water. Well, I never! I don't need his help! What a vulgar thing to say! Perhaps he could sense how I felt, because for all my glaring, Jack wasn't looking at me, and was instead very keen on staring at nothing. I wonder if this is his way of saying he's concerned for me. Nonsense. Not with him. Lord, does he ever try to press my buttons? I mean, I think that's what he's hoping for, but, I mean... I admitted to some irritation in how he expressed it, but a part of me was pleased to know he cared. I folded the message and placed it carefully in my pocket. And we're going to skip instead of skipping to the next choice. Because we know how this fucking thing works. Every single time we get to that, it never, like... We're fine after this. Skip it. Actually, we can probably, now we can probably do this. Yeah, there we go. Skip it! Everyone agreed to join! Okay. He was crouched over a distance away from everyone. Oh, crap. Silently take his hand. I wanted to actually read the thing. No, I was trying to not skip. Anyway. Well, you know what? It's fine. We can. I was trying to not skip it, but we've technically already done all of that. It's nothing different by taking his hand, because we've done that before, so. Lupin's thing. Oh, okay. So this was just... Why can't I click back? Oh, there we go. I hope I can pack everything away quickly. Okay, so it's just packing everything away. As I was clearing everything away, I noticed Jack standing close by. Is everything all right, Jack? Here, for you. Is this... He presented me a single, somewhat creased envelope. Oh! Friend letters! Penned in a gorgeous cursive at its center was Spacey Whitley. My smile naturally blossomed upon seeing it. Thank you, Jack. You wrote me another one, didn't you? You've made me the happiest girl. Damn. That is the derpiest face, aside from hers. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus. Oh dear god, that is not the best. Wow. Don't know if you need to be that happy about it. Can't I? Ever since we've started, you've gradually opened up more to me in person. Opened up to me more in person, sorry. I could feel us growing closer with each letter, each conversation, and I just knew telling him he made me the happiest girl was no lie. Now he's like, don't make that derpy face again, it's a little scary. I'll get right on penning another letter for you. Right. Well then, I do believe that's given me the second wind I needed to tidy all this. It won't take me any time at all now. I placed Jack's letter in my pocket and went right to work clearing everything away. I think it's fucking cute that we're pen pals with the murderer, but as I did, I heard the sound of footsteps on the grass behind me. It was Jack. I thought he'd left, but he instead reached for an empty basket. That's a big job for one. Let me help. Jack! Not a problem. You got the letter. I might as well stay put. Not at all. I could certainly use you. Phrasing. I could certainly use you, and he's like, I'm okay with that. Because that's exactly where my brain went. That look right there is like, yeah. Look, he's just in the smirk, and he's not saying anything. It's just ... Together we went to work. Jack was quick to prove himself more capable at the whole affair than I was, as he had packed everything both with swiftness and neatness. The food was good, you know. Was it? I'm relieved to hear that. I didn't know what you liked, so I was a bit nervous, wondering if anything would be to your taste. I liked the boiled eggs wrapped in meat. Those were good. The Scotch eggs? That's what you call them. I never fancied I'd dine on food so nice. We kept at a steady conversation, but he never once was distracted enough to stop packing what was left. The same couldn't be said for me, however. I couldn't hide my pleasedness. Hide my pleasedness. He liked the Scotch eggs that I made? Look at her face. What other foods do you like? Can't recall off the top of my head. I eat simple stuff like baked potatoes or scraps of meat, but it ain't 'cause I like 'em in particular. But baked potatoes are delicious. And it makes me want baked potatoes so bad right now. Oh. You're gonna help or are you content to stand there? But pardon me, I'd become stuck on how much you like the Scotch eggs. I also love them. Oh, do you? Jack resumed his usual quietude, as if uncertain how to respond, before continuing his work. It was about time I did the same. By the time the two of us finished, the surrounding area was shrouded in a dense fog. It's gotten very thick, hasn't it? Well, I suppose we ought to meet with the others. They must be waiting. They couldn't fucking be bothered to help. Just saying. He's angry. Jack didn't respond. Did you hear me, Jack? It's nothing. He appeared distracted by something. I followed his eyes, and there it was. A shadowy silhouette standing amongst nothing. Oh, this is interesting. Usually we think it's him, and this time there's a shadowy silhouette that's not Jack. And we're like, wait, this time it's not you? So he's like, what? Nothing? It's not like I've done this before, ever. In that moment, the fog grew rapidly more thick. Lupin? Is that you with your fog stick? Jack? I'd only taken my eyes off him for a second, but by the time I'd turned back, he was gone. Of course. All right. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness well up within myself. Jack, where are you? Wait, Jack, please say something. I approached the figure with wariness in my steps, but it had yet to become any more clear. Wait! My apprehension grew stronger, but standing in place would do nothing. I decided to continue following it. And let me guess. Yeah, we go to the back alley. We never... No matter... Okay, blah, blah, blah. We've never gone to the upward slopes, have we? I want to save for a second. I want to see what happens if we go to the upward slope, like, ever. I'm just going to save it over here. We don't need that one. Good God, we've been playing this game for, like 3 months. Jeez. You know what it is? It's because we don't do it every day. Anyway. I don't think we've ever taken the slope. I'm just going to skip through. I'm not going to bother skipping because I don't think we have a next choice, so. This is just blah, blah, blah. We have people arguing. It's usually the same thing. One of the similar situations. Did we take the slope? Maybe in Holmes's route? I don't remember, but... Because everything else is always the same, but we've never taken the slope. But we've had different ones. It's not always Colonel Moran. Like, one time it was Porlock, right? So, like... It's interesting. I saved that because I want to go up the slope and see what the fuck happens. So anyway. Where did you go? Wait, hold on. Whoops. We want to make sure. I braced myself for the incoming... Okay, so that was the same thing. Jack! Jack came rushing over, and I had the sense that he'd been in a complete panic till just before. You bloomin' idiot! First you vanish, and then I... Have you been looking for me all this time? You know, it's kind of scary when he opens his mouth because he has sharp, pointy teeth, and... Ow. Like... He didn't answer, but I could hear how irregular his breathing was. Forgive me, Jack. I didn't mean to worry you. I wasn't. But you were looking for me, right? No. Oh, still, thank you for fretting to such an extent for my sake. I said I wasn't. As much as I tried to thank him, Jack only returned the gesture with a sharp frown and creased forehead. Oh, he's such a sad sack. He didn't appear upset with me, so I couldn't say why he looked the way he did. You may continue this conversation in the comfort of the carriage. Jack, we shall take you home. I'm fine. I can walk from here. At least let us take you part of the way. Why should you? Because I've caused you so much worry. Please let me do this for you. Jack was reluctant, but he did not turn down the offer. Off the carriage went after the three of us climbed in. He's like, I've never ridden in a carriage before. Afore. Pendleton's sigh was the first thing to break yet another lengthy silence. My lady, I'm going to be very frank with you. For heaven's sake, do something about your unfortunate habit of sticking your nose into danger. Well, she didn't do nothing wrong. That's sweet of you, Jack, but I did. I was thoughtless. I should have stayed where I was instead of wandering off. Bah. I'd overheard something I fear I must discuss, however. Something involving a Colonel Moran. My lady, where did you hear that? Jack had no particularly strong reaction, but upon mentioning Colonel Moran's name, Pendleton's expression changed. Pendleton better not be like the shady motherfucker in this, because I'm going to be sad. I love Pendleton. We know I love Pendleton. It was earlier. There was a man with me in the fog by that name. Colonel Moran was arrested a long time ago and sentenced to life in prison. But I heard his name. I can't be mistaken, can I? What if he's as far as I'm aware, he's still locked in the Tower of London. Yeah, but you're not that aware, Pendleton. I need you to get on the fucking ball here. Could have misheard, perhaps. No, Jack is covering for him. Could be a illusion in the fog. The more I tried to follow the line of thought, the more fear wrangled me. At a certain point, I could only shake my head and rid myself of anything more. Okay. Part of me knew that it would do little help. I could fear the mess beginning to settle over my heart. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. There's no point in reading those 3 lines. We've read them 5 times. Yada, yada, yada. You're fine. You know what we're doing. And even if you don't, it doesn't matter. They're pointless. Next chapter. Yay! Now we're into Jack's chapter. And it's we only 15 minutes, and we read a lot of it. The Ripper in the Velvet Night. I was looking at the guide, not at that. So I was like, head, pop. I don't know. I was looking down, so I was like, I'm probably saying this before the title comes up. Anyway. And the night was still, and London's streets silent. The only noise that could be heard, for not even wind favored a steady hum at that hour, came from 2 silhouettes in a lightless alley. Ahem. I'm assuming someone's talking to Jack, and it probably is Colonel Moran, but I don't know. So anyway. You're surely aware of why you were called, but you're to eliminate a traitor. Nothing difficult. Simply do as you've always done. See, the thing is we did Jack's before, we did Watson's before Jack, so we kind of already know that Jack is working for Colonel Moran, but you really couldn't do Jack's first. You had to do either Holmes, Watson, or Akechi first. And what if you had accidentally gone down and done Watson's first? That kind of spoiled it. So it's like, question mark. I get why they did it. Like, oh, you're not supposed to know. But you already know by the time you play Jack's route. Unless you played Holmes first and then you did Jack's route, I guess. But, I mean, I guess if you don't use a guide, you don't get a recommended route order. Like, if you got this played at the first day, you're like, I don't know what route to play. Just play whatever happens, you know? So, yeah. Anyway. This is what gives you value to me, to the organization. Remember this. Naturally, you're to dispose of the body whilst leaving no evidence at the scene. Are we clear? Yes, sir. Snip, snip. It's like fucking Edward Scissorhands. The morning was an awful one. The sky billowed with dark, animated clouds, and their heaviness pressed against the ground with an uncomfortable dampness. Okay, I'm still curious. I just got to point this out. Like, Lupin was a criminal, but he stole things that were stolen, right? He didn't really give them back to the people that, you know what I mean? Like, our Lupin and Code Realize did that. I'm going to steal this from you, and I'm going to take a finder's fee. Like, so I'm going to steal some extra money. And I'm going to give it back to the person that actually belongs to. The Robin Hood thing. I don't think Lupin in this game did that. Pretty sure he just stole shit. Like, well, it's technically stolen, so I'm gonna steal it and I'm gonna keep it. Like, I don't remember him ever giving it back to the people it belonged to or whatever. But regardless, he was a thief. More noble intentions, at least. And she was like, oh, whatever. How are we really going to be like, oh, you were murdering people? I mean, you were kind of forced into doing it. So he was. I mean, he's forced into doing it. But it's kind of like, you still murdered people. So, like, there's really no, you can't be like, you murdered that person. I mean, that person made me do it. Still doesn't get you. Oh, okay, well, all's forgiven. That's not how it works. Like, I'm just really curious how she's going to find out that he's fucking Jack the Ripper and be like, whatever. I mean, she was pretty pissed at Lupin, is all I'm saying. Anyway. And this, however, did not interrupt my morning routine. Upon sitting down to read the morning paper, I was drawn to the front page's piece on the East End murders. East End? Jack comes from the East End. He must be the murderer. Whitechapel murderer still on the loose. And what of the police? The article was underlined with discernible bias from its headline down, continuing to question in less than subtle ways the capabilities of the police. In particular, it highlighted the lack of progress made since the murders of victims Miss Smith and Miss Tabram. Tabram? Tabram? I'm curious why the culprit only appears to have targeted poor prostitutes. It seems safe to assume they aren't doing this for money. Perhaps they were murdered to set an example. The gangs that control that area show no mercy, and not even to the poor, when swindling money. That interpretation does line up nicely with the police's. But how can anyone do something so horrible? I don't know, you find out when you start dating him. I sighed politely through pouted lips as I perused the article again. The paper brings to mind the surprising number of abattoirs in that area, too. Abattoir? Abattoir? It's abattoir, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. What's an abattoir? An abattoir? 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 Abattoir, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. We're bringing up the French shit again, I think. But it's a place where livestock are slaughtered. Ordinarily, one wouldn't build such a place in the middle of a populated city like London. The exception was made only due to the high demand for meat. And yet, with the East End sewage system being so lacking, and not to mention how unsanitary its conditions are from every corner. My, Pendleton was chirping away like a bird this morning. Another reason to love him. Just don't start screeching at me. Pendleton, you make it sound as though you've been there before. Have you? Only when I'm disposing of bodies. I mean, no, never. What? Once, yes. I went to visit a friend who runs a workhouse there, and I'm not soon to forget the sight. The circumstances are so appalling that there are even some who survive only by rummaging through the channels. Even then, they risk being swept away by the waters and drowning. Death is frequent to the point where the bodies can't be dealt with fast enough. My God, how awful! Jesus, it's windy as fuck out there, yo. My heart sank. Couldn't search for the right response to such a thing. I swear to God, like, I'm surprised. It's like cloudy and like rainy, but it's not like stormy. And yet this morning, I didn't even know it was fucking raining. Like, my alarm went off. I turned it off. I'm like, okay. Alarm goes, okay, snooze. I'm snoozing. And all of a sudden, this thunder was so fucking loud, scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God! Wide awake. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're getting up now. Holy shit. And no thunder since then, but it was the loud, it was like right on top. And like, normally, I live in the epicenter of no weather, which is really great most of the time because it's like really bad storms seem to miss me, which is awesome. But I like the thunder. So it's like, if I could hear the thunder, that'd be nice. But like, no hurricanes and tornadoes. Like, stay the fuck away from me. Like, I mean, hurricanes have come through and hit, but like, I'm generally like, have been okay. But like, but I miss thunder. I like hearing thunder and thunderstorms. But anyway, my heart sank. I couldn't search for the right response to such a thing. I think I read that. My lady, I should hope you weren't developing an interest in the East End because of that article. No, that's not quite it. It was Jack who came to mind. What would Pendleton think if he knew a schoolmate of mine was from there? I didn't want to imagine it. Apprehension building at the mere thought. I chose to keep quiet regarding the issue. Nothing good would come from telling him about Jack. Do you think Pendleton is going to be like, oh, don't be friends with the poor? I don't feel like Pendleton is that way. But then again, he is the butler to a rich woman. Like, you should be careful with the riffraff, dear. Like, I mean, it is Pendleton, so, I mean, who knows? But I feel like Pendleton is a little bit better than that, he'd still be like, you're not gonna marry him. But like, that's fine. You can talk to who you want, honey. It's fine to be friends with the poor people. You need to look good. Anyway. If there's one place in this city you must stay away from, it is the East End. Oh, well, we're going right there. And we're gonna slum it with a boy from the East End. Oh, he's from the wrong side of the tracks. Look at that. And this comes along with my asking that you refrain from recklessness in general. Is that in regards to my trip to Hyde Park? Indeed. And need I remind you of how you were found on the verge of tears, lost in the fog, stomach plump from consuming several too many desserts? Back on the fat kick, aren't you? That's a horrible way to describe it. And you never found me on the verge of tears. Anxious, perhaps. I see no significant difference. Listen well, my lady. When you need help or feel danger around the corner, do not act rashly. Call upon your nearest Scotland Yard officer. Of course, I will. Bullshit. Our daily conversation was not as pleasant as I'd come to expect, and thus we departed for the carriage minutes earlier than usual. Pendleton, I'm sick of talking to you. Let's go. Never sick of talking to Pendleton. The morning was still young when I'd arrived at the academy. By then, I was thankful to see the gloomy clouds had passed, granting the day a lovely sky. I don't know, it still looks gloomy to me, but... Also, I'd like to point out that I really feel like Pendleton needs glasses, because he's kind of the bastard bespectacled boyfriend. He's kind of like, you're getting a little fat. You should still put down the desserts. You're kind of stupid. Like, he does it in the nicest way possible, but you're like, you're kind of a dick, and that's probably why I love you so much. Yeah. It's like, oh, you do it in the nicest way possible. But, like, still not nice. But it's not like Holmes would be like, God, you're fat. And you'd be like, you know what? I'm going to kick your ass, you douche. Pendleton is like, you should probably put down the desserts, chubby. And you're like, you're mean, but I love you. Why? Like, oh, God. Anyway. I wonder if Jack is sleeping in the courtyard again. Did you write him a fucking letter? Did you read his letter? Oh, it's you. That was so not right. Oh, my thing went away. Well, a pleasant morning to you, Jack. Thanks. Why do you look so disappointed? It sounds silly, but I was hoping today would be the day I could keep you from waking up. No matter what strategies I'd conjured in the past to approach him, as if on cue, he would open his eyes once I was close. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Oh, and then I was like, wait, okay, she's trying to play ninja, like, stop. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, because I'm not actually sleeping. I tried to be stealthy, cautious, quiet, all of the above and more, but each and every attempt had ended in failure. I don't know how you do it. I always take care not to make a peep, too. I know. You're just sensitive to the presence of others, like an animal. I ain't doing it on purpose. What does it matter if I wake up? What does it matter if I wake up? Wake up. And that's actually how it... I'm like trying to say wake up, and it sounds like wake up with an accent. Wow. Oh my God, that just... Oh my God. Because my brain was like, no, you're saying wake up with an accent, not wake up. But what does it matter if I wake up? That's exactly how it... Oh my God, that confused me so hard. I'm like, wait, no, that's not, you're not reading the right word right. You're reading the wrong word with an accent. But it's the same. It comes out the same. It's like, shit, that was like a mindfuck. I was like, damn. That was fun. Anyway, for God's sake, you want to sit, you sit. Jack, as if to further express his sentiment, eased himself up just slightly to move aside, allowing me to sit next to him more comfortably. Cute. True enough. Thank you. He certainly had a coarse way of expressing himself, but he was trying to be considerate in his own way, and that's what mattered. Or it did in a sense, as it had me feeling rather flustered to see him going out of his way. Still, I accepted the offer and took my place. CJ, something funny. Oh, I'm just happy to be able to sit next to you, that's all. I still don't understand you. What's there to be happy about? You, of course. Back when we first met, you were almost vigilant in how you pushed everyone away. But now, you let me sit next to you. I can talk to you as much as I'd like. He's a goddamn gumdrop. That's... 'cause you're... What? Never mind. And that was that. I doubted any prying and pulling would have him change his mind. May I ask you something? When you graduate, do you intend to become a detective?
It's not what I want to do, no.
Really? Do you have something else in mind then?
Not be a murderer.
What? Nothing.
It's nothing.
Well, oh, desk work and the like. That look on his face is like so shady, like desk work.
Yeah. Well, keep helping me, Dad, I suppose. Desk work and the like.
I see. You're quite the devoted son. Oh, but he's not really your daddy and he hates you. Oh, you poor thing. I've learned something new.
You think? Though, if I'm honest, I'd rather...
Again, he was on the verge of opening up about something personal. I waited. Jack?
No, forget it.
And again, he cut himself short and changed the course of the conversation.
What about you? Haven't you got something you want to do?
After graduation, you mean? Oh, I'm just gonna be rich. I mean, she's got my dream job. Can I just be honest? I'm just gonna be rich and have a sexy ass butler, like, kind of like being a bitch to me all the time. But I'm okay with this. Sounds like a great life. The question took me by such surprise that even my eyebrows had dressed themselves into my fringe. My eyebrows had dressed themselves into my fringe. Wow. They are poetic with the way they write things like, huh, I raised my eyebrows. My eyebrows dressed themselves into my fringe. That, I'm just saying it's lyrical genius. It's like just, the word smithery in this game is fucking, like, she may be one of the dumbest fucking, well, she's not that dumb. She's pretty fucking dumb sometimes. They're all dumb sometimes, so I really, all right. Sometimes she's really dumb, and I'm like, God, why are you stupid? And then there's other times where I'm like, you know, she's kind of sassy, though, and I kind of dig that, so. She's got goods and bads, but, I mean, the way they wrote, Jesus. And I don't know if the original Japanese was just this savvy with the words, and the translation team is just like, we got this. But, I mean, damn. Props to the translation team on this one, because, like, I feel like there are times where, like, you can tell, you're like, did you use Google Translate on this? Or you just don't understand Japanese because it, like, or, because I doubt the writing was this bad. Like, sometimes, you know? Yes, Tim types terribly, and he's always typing terrible trash in these games. But in general, though, like, Jace, like, it's written really well. I'm just still impressed. It still impresses me all the time when things happen. I'm like, wow. It's just a fancy way of saying things. This game's so fancy. Anyway. I shall inherit my family name, though I do hope to lend my aid in solving cases from time to time.
So the sim for you.
The sim for you. So the sim for you. Yeah, I like the Sims too. I do want to help the victims of crime, of course. But you see, inheriting the Whitley name is something only I can do. I can't turn my back on that responsibility.
You always look for your...
Oh,
You always look like your head's off in the clouds. But I see you do have your future lined up squarely.
If not for the sweetness of his tone, I may have thought him disappointed. Now, did you really have to say that first part? I mean, that's probably the nicest way anyone's told you you're an airhead.
Your head's always up in the clouds.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Dreamer's got a dream, yo. At that moment, my ears happened to catch part of a conversation two students were having as they strolled down the nearby corridor. And the police have been absolutely useless, haven't they? If only I could disagree. We pay them loads in taxes, but where are they when you need them? Nowhere, that's where. Suppose that's life. You have to look after yourself because no one else will. Oh, but with Sherlock Holmes and John Watson helping the investigation, the case ought to be solved in no time. Yes, I can believe that. I believe them in them sooner than the police, anyhow. What's wrong, Jack?
Nothing. I was thinking how people seem content to run their jaws off when the police are concerned.
Where the police are concerned. I've noticed that as well. There was an editorial in the morning paper arguing the same thing as those girls are. They're an easy target for the people to vent their frustrations. For the people to vent their frustrations. I just kind of mulled out.
I suppose.
Jack fell silent. It was not a normal sort of silence, but rather the kind charged with energy that begged further conversation. which he finally obliged by asking a curious question. I really get the impression he was more pissed, like, God damn it, Holmes and Watson! Like,
Do you think so too? That the police are useless?
I pondered the question for a moment before answering. They don't understand life before them. I don't understand. They don't. Oh, okay. I'm like, I wasn't reading what she just said, but I'm like, they don't understand life before them. I just don't think people understand what life was like before Scotland Yard existed. That's what that meant. I'm like, the fuck does that even mean?
Hard to believe there was a time, really. Really.
And that applies to most of us. I cannot deny the countless unsolved cases remaining in their pile, and oh, okay, and certainly there exist scandals that are swept beneath the rug. And yet, if we wish for crimes to be solved quickly, cooperation is the best way to go about it. That holds true as much in modern times as it always has. And Mr. Holmes is currently working alongside them, so I dare say he would not disagree. If we went to every citizen in London and asked them if they wanted these murders to end, they would all say yes. Who could earnestly deny the benefit of the police with that answer?
He's like, I just kind of hope they don't solve it, because, I'd have to go to jail. They'll come after me, Lucky Charms. What? And you've sided with the police?
Oh, absolutely. Why would I side with the murderer? I mean, I know he's the murderer, and we'd get love points for that, but like,
So you sided with the police?
no, I absolutely think a man who runs around murdering prostitutes is like A+ in my book. The fuck kind of. Now we're getting thunder. Woo! Oh, absolutely. Besides, I would think criticizing them and giving up hope is precisely what criminals want us to do, and I won't stand for it. I just don't understand how this relationship's gonna work, because she's like, I am all for justice! And he's like,
I like to stab people. That's a strange way of looking at things. And again, you're a strange girl.
what? Do you think so? I thought it was rather common. May I ask your opinion then? He's like,
I like to stab people, so I'm not fond of the cops. I ain't fond of the coppers. They're always after me, Lucky Charms, trying to stop me from stabbing people.
what?
Nothing.
He looked away in thought, giving the question serious consideration before answering.
I said you're a strange girl, but I feel the same as you.
Well, aren't we a funny pair? We're only as strange as one another then.
Don't lump me with you.
That's not very nice. You're the one who said something first. Wasn't this the first time Jack had given me an opinion on something so important? As I briefly recalled our conversations in the past, it had occurred to me that he had never been nearly as open before about anything.
Right then.
Jack mumbled something or other to himself, reached into his pocket and presented an envelope, to which I wore a grand smile at the sight.
Here.
Oh, is this a new letter for me? Thank you. Did we ever write him one? He held it out before me, waiting for me to take it, whilst my eyes grew nearly twice in size at the prospect of its contents. I just cannot fathom her eyes being able to grow twice the size, because they are literally the size of her head. Oh, yes, thunder. Fucker, I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. What have you written for me?
Words. That's how what you write with. Jesus. If I told you, you wouldn't have no reason to read it.
True, I just couldn't suppress my curiosity. He could only sigh as I accepted it. She's so fucking bubbly and sugary, gumdroppy sweet. She gives me diabetes, and I just can't imagine how he's like, what the fuck is this? I've noticed trading letters in the courtyard has become something of a tradition between us.
Well, I ain't giving you one in the middle of the classroom.
Oh, I understand that. As soon as I finish writing a reply, I'll pass it along right here. My response stalled upon noticing Jack's hand. Oh. He knew just as well that I'd seen it and made to withdraw it behind him, but before he could, I'd reached out and cupped it gently between my own. Oh!
What is it?
You've hurt your hand again, haven't you?
Well, it's really hard when you're stabbing people and they fight back. If they didn't fight back, I wouldn't have injuries.
A fresh slice was visible across his palm, so fresh indeed that the watery colored discharge as the wound worked to heal itself was still seeping and settling along the opening.
Oh. Ugh.
You didn't need to get that wordy, game. It was painful to even look at, and Jack, fully aware he was in for a scolding, averted his gaze. God, how did you do this? You need to go to the infirmary.
No.
Jack suddenly grasped the arm that was grasping his own. I paused. Oh.
I ate antiseptic. Didn't I write that to you before?
I ate antiseptic. Such a hard thing to say. Oh. He was right. I'd once asked him in a letter about the one thing he found most difficult to handle, and to my surprise, he gave an answer. The smell of medicine.
So I don't want to go.
Firm as the words were, the voice which said them had grown feeble.
Besides, it'll heal on its own even if I don't do anything.
But then you'll have scars. I couldn't very well force him to go. Left with no other recourse, I took care when holding his wounded hand with both of mine. His first instinct was to pull away. We're holding his hand. He's got dagger teeth. It's a little scary. Stay still for a moment, all right? I hadn't thought he would listen, but he did oblige, and so I went to work binding his hand in a handkerchief I had on my person. There! It looks much better compared to the last time I wrapped it, I think.
It's the same handkerchief as before.
He observed his dressed hand, all the while wearing an expression I couldn't quite read. Was it irritation? Joy? Sadness? Whatever the case, there was something close and distant about it at the same time. Oh, close and distant. I was like, close. Like closed. I was thinking closed, and I'm like, did they not put the D? Something close and distant about it at the same time. That makes sense.
You're too nice for your own good.
Perhaps so, and that suits me fine. Seeing you hurt makes my chest hurt twice as much. I can't turn a blind eye to it. Aw, look at his sad little blush face. Is something the matter?
No, just
that perplexing expression did evolve only slightly, but I still could not make much of it. He seemed to resolve what he felt on his own, however, for the next thing he said was well and truly direct.
Thanks.
So direct, in fact, that I became fastened in place. I never heard anything close to that from him before.
That's it then.
He stood up in a hurry, as if he couldn't take another moment of relaxing.
Come on. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be late.
You're right. And so I stood in a flushed discomfort as well. I'm still struck from hearing that thank you. I'm so happy. I can't remember when I last felt this happy. It was hardly the first time I had been thanked. What was it that made Jack's feel more special than the ones I'd been given in the past? My cheeks, my chest, and even my stomach thumped with warmth. Oh, girl. She's so fucking in love with him already. It's amazing. It was one word. Just one. Who knew I could be affected so? I mean, like, I feel like she's fallen in love with him a lot faster than everybody else. You know what I mean? She's usually like, huh, it felt really warm and ticklish. Now she's like, oh, dear God.
Ooh. Thunder.
Ooh, it's getting loud, Booger. Don't get scared. It's a thunder. Anyway,
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the clouds outside. I mean, trees, but because I can't see the clouds really. But anyway. Nothing. Not a thing, really.
I'm sure.
With that, he turned and walked toward the classroom. We're looking at him, and he's like, what are you looking at? And we're like, nothing. And he's like,
I am a nothing. Oh.
oh, we broke his heart. I just realized he's never said my name before. He's written it plenty in his letters, but it's not quite the same thing. He still hasn't. It's always you and such. Nothing particularly sweet. His showing gratitude gave rise to a new question. How would I feel if he said my name? God, you'd fucking pass out. If the former made me as happy as it did, then I could not wait to hear what effect my own name had on me. Damn, she is like all in. That hope now faintly at the back of my mind, I quickly followed him.
Good morning, class. And now I'm sure each of you is aware of the murder in Whitechapel through the papers, and that naturally your interests are piqued as detectives. Which is why I feel compelled to state the culprit is still yet to be apprehended, and with how eager you may be for more, I fear you may well act on impulse. It wouldn't do to obstruct the police's investigation. Dear me, I almost said it would do. It wouldn't. It would be worse if anyone were to find themselves entangled in the case and be injured. Or killed. It would crush me, you my precious students, and I love you. You must understand that if they need your assistance, they'll ask for it. Until then, stay far away.
Which means we're totally fucking going. All right, gang, let's go!
And under no circumstances would you think about traveling to the East End to investigate independently.
Right, we're going as a group. Scooby-Doo gang, let's go.
This rather strict warning came straight from the mouth of an officer this morning. And I should say, I haven't been this tense since I was told off for riding my bicycle whilst drunk.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to imagine Mr. Mackenzie. Oh! I can't seem to manage my bicycle right now. Hello, pretty lady. Do you have flowers I can put in my basket?
The fuck? I'm sorry. That is just more like. Okay, what I like about this is like Mr. Mackenzie, who's like a background character, still has dimensions to him. You know? He's not just, oh, I worry. I'm just here to be kind of creepy and a teacher. He like worries about his students. He drives, he rides his bike drunk. Like, it's actually pretty funny, like the random little things they sprinkle in for him. That was unnecessary, but I am so happy that it was there because that was great. Anyway, the poor man seemed to radiate exhaustion.
Incidentally, Mr. Holmes, Mr. Watson, an exception has been made for you two at the request of Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard. And they're to send a carriage to the Academy's front gate after school, after which you'll be taken to the scene.
He must be desperate to send for help through the Academy. Really? I think it's about time they asked. Holmes said this in a disinterested tone, but his fist began to clench with anticipation, and his eyebrows raised exquisitely from all the inquiries he had in mind.
If you have any materials you believe will benefit them, they have asked you to bring those as well.
I'm a really good material, and you should take me. Of course.
Huh?
Aren't they back at the office? I carry my work with me at all times, just so I may be well prepared for whenever the inspector finally thinks to summon us. God damn, Holmes. Well, I applaud your enthusiasm. The bell signaling the end of registration chimed. Mr. Mackenzie left the classroom. I felt it safe enough to begin asking my own inquiries. So you've agreed to investigate the case after school then, Holmes? I have. I had an inkling it would happen. Does your asking mean you're interested in this case to some degree, Miss Whitley? Oh, very much. It's on the lips of every person in London, so how could I not be? Then come with us to investigate. Oh, are you trying to get in my pants too? What? You already been there, done that, buddy. We gotta get the fifth wheel in the man harem here, okay? We've worked on 4 of you. Yeah, we gotta get the fifth. Well, technically the sixth, because Pendleton is number 1 in the man harem, even though he doesn't know it. I'm just saying.
What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything about a man harem. Shh, Watson. Shut up, Disney Princess Jellyfish Hair. You go sit in the corner. That's okay. No, we love you. We love our little Bambi. Is that all right? The yard hasn't asked for my help, so wouldn't I be a nuisance? Dear me, this is disappointing. I thought you had more fire than that. Oh, I am like all flames inside, honey. Whoop. Holmes's sigh was soft, perhaps from how deflated he already was from my answer. Recall that, should you be ever so inclined to participate, you do have Her Majesty's ring. And that this case has outwitted everyone thus far is the very reason I feel your simple-minded reasoning may be precisely what's needed. Did you just insult me? Pretty sure he did.
Wait 1 second, Holmes.
Thank you, Disney Princess Jellyfish Hair. Watson intervened whilst looking quite sore.
Do you know the danger you'd put her in by involving her?
Are you serious? Whoa! I cannot defend myself, so I appreciate you standing up for me, because I'll probably fall off a cliff. Deadly, my dear friend. I'm always serious.
There you are. And it's so predictable of you that I should have never doubted it.
Watson puffed his lips out in an exaggerated huff before facing me.
This isn't what you want to hear, Spacey, but unlike us, you're part of the nobility.
No, I'm okay hearing that because oh, you're right, I'm rich. I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and walk my peacock.
With this case rumored to be as ghastly as it is, one wrong move could spell the end. I don't agree that you should come. You understand, don't you?
I do, truly, but still, I genuinely appreciated his concern for me, yes. But if there were any doors that would allow me a closer look at this case, I would swing them open without regret. My heart gave an erratic, uncomfortable shudder as I pictured the potential danger waiting before I forcibly dismissed it. I value an answer to the truth over any pain. So I responded, I should like to see the crime scene. You're sweet to be so concerned for me, Watson. But I should like to see the crime scene for myself. Even if I can't solve the game, I want to be part of pursuing the truth.
And I can sympathize to a point, but this one involves the slums of the East End. That place is as dangerous as they come. It's not right to take you with us knowing that.
Then I shall grab onto the back of the carriage and force my way.
But, Spacey...
There's no point arguing, Watson. Holmes was clearly pleased and quickly moved on to considering the details of their upcoming case, whilst Watson sulked with doubt, but relented, resigned to the fact that he would never convince either of us otherwise. And then we shall depart immediately. Holmes is secretly in love with us, but we're going to marry the murderer. What? And we did, mentally preparing ourselves to visit the stage of the most recent murder to take place. I hope she passes out like, oh my god, this is, passes out, and it's like,
idiot. Watson will be like, I fucking told you, dumbass.
Disney Princess Jellyfish Hair, how dare you?
Oh, there you are. You certainly took your time, didn't you? Come along now.
The first person we met was the sergeant, who had been waiting as we were instructed just outside Harrington's gates.
I shall be responsible for escorting you. Come in if you would. What's this? Will you be accompanying us as well, Spacey?
It's Miss Whitley to you, Ryan. Jesus. I only gave Reyes permission to call me Spacey, and you're not fucking him. Remember? Quote unquote. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, you are. No, I'm just kidding. We never gave Reyes that permission, and I'm just making fun of Ryan and Reyes. Also, but seriously, did I say you could call me Spacey? I outrank you, bitch. Show some respect. Now we're fine. Please, I won't be getting in the way of the investigation. I'm just here as arm candy. I presented my ring to him, and knowing its worth, he respectfully minimized his disagreement whilst doing nothing to hide a concerned brow. I think it's funny that we're like, BAM! Like, and he's like, I'm aware you have the fucking ring. You don't need, that's why you're, Jesus, girl. We're like, you see my ring, bitch? Like, right in his face. We, like, backhand him with our ring hand. And he's like, I know you have a ring. You don't need to slap me with it every time. Would you possibly reconsider? I feel the East End isn't a suitable place for an upper-class woman to visit. Oh, but if I was a lower-class woman, it'd be fine. I'd probably be working there, is what you're saying. I get it.
I'm sorry, sir. I said the same thing.
I believe we're all aware of her status, but lest we forget, she's also one of Her Majesty's detectives. We should be rejoicing that we have someone so valuable. This seemed to be a fine enough point in Ryan's mind, for he gave no further protest. You're like, you think I'm fine? He's like, yeah, I wanted someone feeble-minded, and that's why. We needed a simpleton. So yes, you're perfect. Bitch. Yes, I do see what you mean. Perhaps with our help, our investigation will finally make some progress. Very well then. We'd be honored to have you with us, Spacey.
Oh, as soon as it benefits you, you can't wait to sing her praises and damn the danger.
Did you say something, Watson?
Nothing important, apparently.
The inspector is waiting for us, so let's make haste. Right away. One by one, we climbed aboard the police carriage. We made our way through the East End. I'd been listening to the steady sounds of wheels on cobblestones, its clack, clack, clacking, a familiar song to me, and yet it did nothing to comfort me. Ugh, the smell is dreadful! The smell which swept the streets was so dense that it perforated the carriage, assaulting my nose and tickling my throat in a disgusting mass. Dois a tripla, downwind from the sewage stream. This is your first time visiting the East End, Miss Whitley. I've heard stories about it, but no, I've never been here before. What about you two? On a few occasions. Since these murders began, we've been coming to survey the area.
I still can't get used to the air here.
More than the smell was the sight of something truly disturbing to me. Sitting at the side of the street was a woman surrounded by children. All were filthy with unkempt, unwashed hair like the fur of a stray, and their clothes ragged and so muddied in color that I couldn't decide if they were dirty or dyed. In this part of the city, there are entire families who have but a single room to house them. Holmes seemed to sense my shock. In a low tone, he explained, some rent places to live, paying by the day, hour, or whatever they can afford. And for those who can't afford that, the streets are their beds. Amongst the women, it's not uncommon to resort to selling their bodies in hopes of making enough to live another day. It's a depressing world. And considering the fact that there was no birth control, that's why you have 14 kids that then you can't afford. So you got to sell your body more, and then you have another baby that you can't. My God, it's a vicious cycle, these poor things. Luring them to a quiet area and murdering them would not be a difficult task. Yeah, especially if you're promising them money and that's what they're used to. Our culprit is someone who cuts down people so desperate to live without making a single sound. Though quiet, I felt the anger at which this case seized him through grinding teeth and clenched fists. Holmes.
And Spacey, some of those people on the streets are riddled with skin diseases. Best take care not to get too close.
Ew, that sounds horrible.
And the same for the rats that fill the slums. Don't touch them.
Oh, because I just love running around petting rats. That's my favorite thing to. Oh, look, a cute little rat. Let me pet it. She's like, why the fuck would I pet rats? He's like, because they look like dogs. They're the size of dogs. She's like, oh shit. Look at the cute dog. That's a rat. Fuck. Like, I'll be careful, Watson.
Yeah, it's all terrible. If you turn a blind eye to it, I think that would only be natural. But this is the reality.
Indeed. I nodded slowly. I don't believe it's possible to truly understand this case while choosing ignorance of the happenings here. My conviction now twice its usual strength, we rode in silence till we reached the scene of the murders, the Whitechapel district. The first place we chose to investigate was the site of the last murder. The sun had begun to set by the time we arrived. Eerie shadows creeped around us.
Stay back! Don't push!
The police had cordoned off the scene, though to their credit it had taken more than a rope to keep onlookers at bay. There were so many who expressed equal amounts of horror and a rapaciousness for more, crying oaths and shoving for a space to view anything heinous. Rapaciousness. Can't believe I read that right the first time. Perhaps less out of fear and more for entertainment. I couldn't be sure. The crowd made it difficult to maintain a noble woman's modesty and stay close to my partners. I did manage as well as I could at least, and together with the sergeant we ducked beneath the rope to pass.
This is where our latest victim, Miss Nichols, was discovered.
The body had been carried away long before, but remnants remained. Surely the blots of dark red belonged to her. An artful splatter now stained the ground in an arc. And though enough time had passed to allow the blood to dry, it was impossible to ignore the stench of iron coming from the ground and walls. So this is where she was killed. Such a dreary place. My chest tightened. It was the first time I realized how little a newspaper could convey a tragedy. Jesus. Yes, in this very spot, less than a day prior, there once lay the body of a woman. Her throat had been cut to force her into silence, and the only thing left to do was wait for the end. Alone, in pain, and the man that you want to fuck is the one that killed her. I just want to point that out. I wondered if this was why the atmosphere felt so oppressive. This is just going to be an intriguing one, I'm just saying.
Inspector Lestrada's in a meeting at the moment, so I shall explain in his stead.
He bulleted the details quickly, starting with the most recent murder. We probably should have stopped as soon as we got here, but anyway.
The victim was killed last night, with her body being discovered by a patrolling officer. He reportedly heard no screams or loud noises during his patrol.
I presume he was one of the officers ordered to patrol after the first two murders occurred.
That's correct. Vast numbers of officers from Scotland Yard have been assigned to each area every night to prevent our killer from acting. And yet, yeah, there were no suspicious people witnessed in the area. None, I'm afraid. The body had been immediately taken for autopsy.
Ryan stiffened.
There was also something very distinctive about the fatal wound. Up until now, it's always been to the throat, with various stab wounds and cuts being found elsewhere in the body. And this time, as it happens, the only wounds were the throat. Very clean wounds, like that of a surgeon's. One cut was made from left to right, the other from right to left. And neither one showed any less precision than the other.
Yeah, because he's got swords on his fingers.
He's dual slicing.
That makes it impossible to tell which hand is the killer's dominant one.
Any potential suspects?
I know of one.
Nobody.
The evidence gave us absolutely no leads. Our currently compiled list, all speculative, mind you, includes doctors, butchers, those of unsound mind, foreigners, and those who bear an open grudge against prostitutes. Not once did he mention anywhere about a, melancholy, quiet, high school detective student. Just saying.
That's oddly specific. Our one clue to narrowing that list down is from this particular murder. We believe such injuries would only be possible in the hands of an experienced surgeon. No, wait 1 minute. Doctors are people who dedicate their lives to helping others.
Just as Watson sought to make a stand, he was interrupted.
Listen here! How long's it gonna take you bloomin' idiots to catch Jack the Ripper? Them bobbies are a waste!
The man roared over Watson, silencing him and creating a dark energy amongst the crowd.
Jack the Ripper. Oh, we've started using that name too. The killer of the Whitechapel murders is a bit unwieldy, you see. Regardless, we're short on reliable eyewitness accounts. We lack a strong motive. Everything is pure conjecture.
His shoulders sank despondently.
Well, I believe you've seen enough here. The autopsy results should be ready if you'd let me escort you to where they are next.
Very well.
Please step back!
We filed again beneath the rope, being very conscious not to corrupt the scene as we left or make strong contact with the seemingly unscrupulous crowd. I'd failed this attempt completely, instead being caught between so many human bodies packed together that I was pulled away from the other three.
Step back! Otherwise someone's liable to be injured.
I could barely hear the officer's voice. No, I need to get back to them. I can't lose sight of them. Someone should have been holding on to her. I was desperate. I tried to flail and push my way back through in a panic, but I simply wasn't strong enough. And then I felt one anonymous hand reach into my pocket. What? Is that a thief? Stop! As I'd gone to shout, another hand appeared over my mouth. Oh, Jesus Christ. We went to a murder scene and got ourselves kidnapped. Of course we did. My panic only grew. I couldn't understand what was happening. No! Help! All delicacy was lost to a desire to break free. But all my thrashing was for naught. It was deeper buried within a throng who cared nothing for a helpless girl, and I didn't have the strength to defend myself. I tried. I never ceased to stop fighting. All while being dragged away through a swarm of apathy.
There are so many people here. Spacey, how are you? Spacey, where are you?
You should have been looking out for me! One in front, one behind, and me in the middle.
Jesus. Watson, don't tell me. She can't have gone far. Let's look around.
Alright, anyway. I'm gonna stop at the mugging. So the mugger dragged us away instead of stealing her. He could have easily, but he... Cue Jack to come slice him up like fucking... No, we cannot find... You cannot find out that Jack is Jack the Ripper this early. Like, it ruined it in Lupin's path, goddammit. Don't ruin it for me here. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.